first I would like to thank you all very much again. We're leaving exactly on time. And I have the boarding passes with me. And together, I'm going to give you the luggage tags, okay?
With an early morning wake-up call and a pre-arranged early breakfast, we headed for the Rio de Janeiro International Airport for our flight to visit the Iguazu Falls.
And so the many groups, they start to arrive. Leaving this time, you arrive just a little bit before these big groups, okay? So we can avoid those long lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Busty to inform that we are now in our descent procedure to Cataratas, Foz do Iguaçu International Airport.
We were a group of 40 from North America, Europe, Australia, and Asia to visit and experience a natural attraction that Brazil and Argentina have to offer. And everyone was ready to be amazed by the landscape, beauty, and sound of the Iguazu Falls.
Did you learn how to dance the samba in Rio?
No, nobody. Paulo did not teach us.
Did you? Do you know that Paulo works as a tour leader just as a hobby? Because he's a professional samba dancer. Did you know that? No?
Oh, wow.
Usually he does performance at the night, etc. Professional. Welcome to Iguazu, my friends. What a lovely day today. Beautiful sunny day. But for tomorrow, when we go to Argentina, it's gonna be a beautiful sunny day again. Okay, so it's gonna be one more beautiful day for tomorrow. Iguazu is the halfway between these nice and beautiful cities in South America.
Upon arrival at the Iguazu International Airport, we were joined by a local tour guide for the day's exploration. And the plan was to head directly to the Iguazu Falls National Park on the Brazilian side.
Perhaps we can see some deer, monkeys, armadillos. We have about 32 species of snakes. Once in a while, last time I saw a jaguar was about a year and a half ago.
To start our adventure, we were dropped off at the entrance of the trail to begin our allotted 2-hour hiking time, with final instructions to meet our bus at the end. From here, we were on our own. It was a good day for this visit, and our first sight of the panoramic view of the waterfalls was the start of this spectacular journey on the trail along the Iguazu River that borders Brazil and Argentina. On the river down below, a group of boat riders were going on a cruise for a close-up view and feel the flow of the river. From the higher ground, we followed the trail and taking our time for memorable pictures, making stops at some viewing points and platforms for different angle photos. It got crowded sometimes with everyone wanting to have their selfies or even group photos. But patience was what it took for a good spot. We have encountered some of the wildlife residents along the trail of the national park, including a couple of playful coatis as we neared the end of the 1.5 kilometer trail hike. And then came the best part of this park. It was the most spectacular, as many visitors walked the path for the most amazing section of the Iguazu Falls. Depending on the season's river flow, some 150 to 300 waterfalls are on the Argentinian side, which are best viewed from the Brazilian side of the Iguazu River borderline. When translated, the name Iguazu meant big water. And the end of the walkway on this side was where lots of visitors hang out the longest, competing for the space with a view of what's called the Devil's Throat, where huge volumes of waterfalls are taking place, and the most picturesque landscape of the Iguazu National Park. At the conclusion of our self-tour, I headed for the elevator for the high ground, joined back the group, and continued to the next phase of our visit.
Okay? No one. All right. So, my friends, talking about your check-in at the hotel today. Tomorrow morning, we let's leave from the hotel. Our departure time is going to be at the 7:15. The restaurant is open for breakfast since 6:30. Paul and I will be at the reception for we collect your passports. So please bring your passports tomorrow morning. Camera, money, yes, and energy when we walk and walk and walk. All right? Here's your hotel on your right side. When we get at the reception, they are going to serve you a welcome drink. It is a mix of a juice from Amazon. It's a fruit named the Guaraná, that is a real good fruit from Amazon, and açaí, perhaps you know as acai. Okay, it's a mix of these both juices, non-alcoholic. And I see you tomorrow morning at
7:15.
7:15. Yes.
About dinner, what time?
Dinner tonight, 7:30. That's when they open the restaurant. Okay.
Tastes like grapes.
Nice.
Very good.
Very
Very
good. Yeah, very relaxing. Yeah. You had a good dinner yesterday?
Yes.
How was
Excellent.
breakfast? Excelente.
Okay, both.
Excelente. Well, folks, let's enjoy the day. It's a beautiful, gorgeous day. And Wilson could not come today, so we have this big fellow here. No?
Yeah.
Very well, very well. So Renato is going to explain everything, what we're going to be doing in the Argentine side.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Wonderful morning, actually. We are having a beautiful day, and today we are having more water on the falls as well. So everything is very well prepared for you. Yeah. Now, in a few more minutes, I have to go out. We are very close to the Brazilian border, and I have to show them paperwork, and then we continue the travel.
At the Brazilian border crossing, we stayed on the bus while Paulo and Renato got off with our passports to get them stamped and process us out of Brazil. And soon, we were on our way to cross the Argentinian border.
So here we are over the Iguazu River. We cannot stop here, my friends. It's forbidden.
At the Argentinian border crossing, and with so many tourists waiting to get through, it took us over half an hour wait to be processed and continue our journey to the Iguazu Park.
Stay included, okay? You don't need to pay anything. I will pay the entrance fee and everything, and then you just walk with us. I'm going ahead of the group with an umbrella. Yeah, I do not use hats. No.
And now we are here. Okay, right at the entrance of the National Park. From here, we go walking to a train station. There, we will catch the train, and then we go here to the top. Okay? Sounds good to everybody? Great. Please, my friends, with your sticks in your hands.
At the entrance, Renato showed the group a perspective map for us to have an idea about the area and where we were in the Iguazu Park on the Argentinian side, while Paulo collected and distributed our entrance tickets before we did our walk through the woods for the train station.
Bienvenidos a Estación Garganta del Diablo. Descendemos del tren y nos dirigimos.
It was a 10-minute train ride to the Devil's Throat station, which was where we got off, and were then gathered for additional instructions before letting us go to be on our own.
Now I will just tell you the most important time. So, it's only one way in and the same way back. When you go in, try to walk on the right side. Of course, on the way back, you will be on the right side as well. But that way, and then return, this is the way out. And there is our meeting point at 12:15. 12:15 is more than enough time for you to enjoy this wonderful walk and then come back. For we to take the train of 12:30. That's our train that we have to catch.
Our 1-kilometer walkway trek to the Devil's Throat on the Argentinian side took us to a different experience, with some sightings along the way. I hear the birds. Birds. Once we got to the end of the walkway, we found ourselves standing on a platform right on top of the Devil's Throat, and I felt the power of the waterfalls. It was beautiful and strong. In front of us is Brazil. They use the Devil's Throat as an imaginary border for this massive waterway, where through this point, almost 40% of the total fill of the waterfalls pass. We got the most out of this visit. Got close enough to feel the spray of the Iguazu waterfalls, and never minding getting wet from the mist blowing toward us, while taking memorable photos as best we can. With everyone accounted for, we headed back to the central station, where we had enough time for a taste of South American beer and their local cuisine, before boarding our bus again for our next destination. Because this was our day tour to the Argentina's Iguazu Falls, we needed to return to Brazil and had to go through customs border crossings again before making a stop for a shopping opportunity once inside Brazil.
After this, we go to the bird park. I love this place, the bird park. This place is a sanctuary for birds.
Inserted in the Iguazu forest, the bird park is the only institution in the world focused on the conservation of Atlantic rainforest birds. It's a nice place to visit and have a complete experience of connection and knowledge about birds and their forest. This 16-hectare park keeps more than 1,300 birds of about 130 species. It is now the largest bird park in Latin America.
Red color, ibis, the Egyptian bird.
Okay, my friends, just a minute, please. Here, Mr. Paulo, he wants to talk with you.
Well, hello everyone. How was the bird park? Nice. You all had a good time? Okay, very, very well. Folks, let me give you some information. As I told you earlier, due to the coronavirus, Argentina is taking a series of measures exactly to try to break the coronavirus. So what's happening? We don't know exactly when these measures are going to take place and how will they be taking place, and in a form we really don't have any information about this.
When we arrived at the hotel, we were given a 30-minute time to shower, pack, and have our luggage out, and be ready to depart to cross the border back to Argentina for an overnight stay. Domestic flights to Buenos Aires had been arranged for the continuation of our tour the next day. The original plan was to fly out of Brazil's Iguazu airport, but now we learned that Argentina may restrict international arrivals because of the coronavirus pandemic. And I read about these pending travel restrictions the day before via email from my travel alert account with the State Department. Now the tour company had relayed actions for Paulo to take.
Well, here we go again. All right. Let's now, we're going towards first, of course, the Brazilian border. It will take a little bit more time because they're going to stamp the exit of all the tours.
Again, yeah.
And then we're going to cross the bridge, reach Argentina, and then of course they're going to, of course, stamp again. Yeah. So the idea is just relax, and after that we are going to reach our hotel in Puerto Iguazu, already in Argentina. Very well.
It was 8:30 at night when we arrived at the hotel in Argentina's Iguazu area, followed with what turned out to be the group's last supper together. The next morning, after a good night rest, we found out yet another change in plan. We were told that our flight to Buenos Aires wasn't going to happen after all. Our bus had come to take us again to Brazil and cross the borders back. The risk was still there if we had to stay in Argentina and ended up getting quarantined for 14 days, wherever we ended up staying. Back in Brazil in a nicer and comfortable hotel, we and our tour director waited all day for further instructions from the tour company. Meanwhile, we spent the rest of the day hanging out in our room and the pool. It wasn't until 10 at night that we were told that the rest of our 16-day tour had been cut short because of the coronavirus pandemic. Arrangement and assistance were made for everyone to fly back home the next day, with an overnight stay in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Okay, well, now we're going to reach the airport in the next 20 minutes, more or less that. Our flight is exactly going to reach Sao Paulo. There's two flights. The first one departs 12:30. We leave 3 hours in advance because it's a domestic flight. And the other flight, we reach there an hour later, at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be landing shortly to ensure your safety and the safety of other passengers.
Welcome to Sao Paulo. My name is Tony. I will accompany you to the hotel.
Our transfer to Sao Paulo went well, with most of us receiving our final homebound flight confirmations while checking in at the hotel. The next morning, I gave Paulo the big thumbs up for getting us through during our memorable journey, before a shuttle took me to Sao Paulo airport. It was truly a great adventure to see some of the amazing places to visit in South America.